Hey everybody, welcome to the week 3 discussion board. So it's all about email, right? Okay, now you think you may know everything about email, maybe you do, but there's still always more to learn. So that's why we do it this way with this kind of scenario here. You're giving some advice to a new employee or to a friend of yours or something like that, basically telling him or her what Outlook is all about, what it has to offer, and how to use email properly. Okay, so many of you may know how to use email really, really well. You use it a lot. Great. Is there kind of room for improvement? Is there stuff that you still need to learn? I'm sure there is. A lot of it doesn't have to do with all the different kinds of bells and whistles, all the different features, but how to use it properly. Okay, so what I want you to focus on in your discussion board post, your initial post, is kind of what would you tell a friend of yours in terms of what Outlook has to offer and how to use it properly in a professional setting, right? I get so many emails all the time from students, and it looks like it was texted to me on their phone. Why? Because they're used to texting. Email is still very, very popular, very, very important, but it's kind of taken a back seat to texting for most people. And is that the proper way to use email? Is to basically not use any punctuation and not capitalize anything and not care about any of your spelling? No, that's terrible in a professional setting. You're not sending something to a buddy of yours or to your best friend or something like that. Everything you send in terms of, everything you do in terms of correspondence, communication, verbal communication, nonverbal communication, written communication, electronic communication on the job reflects on you. You need to recognize that how we use these kinds of things really does have a reflection on you, whether it's good or bad. That's why we talk about this. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to tell me or tell all of us, some of the things that really stand out to you that you think are very important for a new user to know about Outlook specifically, and then also about how to use email properly. Now, get specific. Tell me detail. Don't just say something like, it'd be important for them to develop an email that looks professional. Well, what does that mean? Okay, so give me specifics there. Tell me specifically what you think would be really, really helpful to somebody who is a new user. Another thing you might want to think about is, how does Outlook different from other email platforms like Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail or whatever you might use? You do know from the lecture, hopefully, that some of those things can be used actually through Outlook. You can kind of almost sync them together in some ways. But is Outlook better? Is it the same? Does it offer things that Yahoo doesn't offer? That's another thing that you want to think about here. So anything that you can bring to the table when it comes to giving advice about Outlook is what I'm looking for, and telling us some advice or some suggestions about email more generally. All right, folks, looking forward to reading what you have this week. Thanks.